First of all, congratulations on the incredible reception. I love hearing that filmmakers like Guillermo del Toro and Bill Hader really enjoyed the film. I guess my first question is, who has been the most unexpected person to give you a call or a text or be like, dude, Eddington, what was that?
Oh, well, I'll say that I've gotten a lot of calls that have been really nice, and very uh touching. I don't want to say anybody's name who doesn't want to be mentioned, so
Right.
I'll be cryptic about it. But I've gotten
All right.
I've gotten some very nice messages.
I love it. I'm always really it's always really fascinating to me when filmmakers choose to name their films after the places where the story unfolds. You know, like Chinatown, like Manhattan. I really want to ask, how do you came up with the specific location and the name of the story you wanted to tell?
I can't even remember why I named it Eddington. But I'm from New Mexico. I know New Mexico very well. It's the region I know best, um, the Southwest.
Right.
And I uh, I wanted to create a town that would feel like something of a microcosm of New Mexico itself. Um,
Right.
for instance, there's a very small population of Black people in New Mexico. So in this town,
Right.
there's basically just one,
Swan guy.
and I wanted to include as much of the politics of the state, of the racial dynamics of the state, um, as I could, and have the town really feel like New Mexico.
It does. It definitely does. I also want to share like I got the chance to watch the movie at Cannes, and for the first time like in 5 years I got a chance to laugh at myself for because I saw myself in Pedro's character, and I saw my mom in Emma and I saw my dad in Joaquin. My question is, does Ari Aster see himself in any of these characters that reflect his own experience in 2020?
I see different parts of myself in almost all the characters. Um, and that's an important part of, that was an important part of writing this film was making sure that I didn't feel superior to any of these people, but that I was interested in them and where they came from and how they got to where they were. And um, I see myself in the activist kids. I see myself
Yes.
I see myself in everybody in the film. Some people I see myself less in than others. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I had to get to a place where I could empathize with just about all of them.
I also this week I was just hearing a lot of podcasts where you've been in and all the conversations you've had about this film, and I love one quote that you gave, that maybe Joaquin's character really fell in love with these movies, these Western films, and that was the reason why he wanted to be a sheriff, and that's the reason why he wants like law to be, obeyed. So my question is, which films made you tried to become a storyteller? Which were the films that gave you that same feeling that probably Joaquin had? Well, Joaquin's character had.
Oh, uh, so many, when I was very young, I would say uh Sergio Leone's Westerns were important to me, especially Once
Of
Upon a
course.
Time West. John Ford is somebody that has grown on me over time. I had to really kind of uh, come to him, because I never liked The Searchers growing up, and that was the first one I
Oh,
saw. But
right.
I've come to love him so much. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, How Green Was My Valley, My Darling Clementine, Young Mr. Lincoln, um, and yeah, and I would say probably the most important of all these guys for me growing up was Peck and Paw.
Oh,
I
wow.
I really, really love Sam Peckinpah, specifically Straw Dogs and The Wild Bunch. Those two films really spoke to me from very early on.
Trodox is truly a masterpiece. Um, I don't know if you know, but Mexico and all Latin America are really big markets for your horror films. Like they really did very well back then, and now it's really interesting to see how you have many followers here and many people that love your work. So when it comes to movies that, well, it's kind of representing America, right? The States. What would be something you would tell them in order to, you know, to make them, uh, you know, fall in love with this new version of you that, despite the fact that there's horror, there's comedy, there's a lot of it. But it's really interesting to me. What could you say to the Mexican and Latin American audiences?
Well, if they like my first two films, uh, this movie is made by the same person with the same impulses.
Right.
And so I would say that this film is not that different from either of those films. Um, it's there are el elements of horror in the film, and it's meant to be surprising, and it's meant to be exciting, and it's meant to be scary at times. It's meant to be funny. And even though it is about America, it's about a situation that we're all in because we're all living in the internet. Some of us might not be, uh, and I envy them, but it's a movie about where we all are right now, which is that we're stranded in our individual silos and we're living in realities that contradict each other's. And it's harder and harder to reach other people. I imagine that that's a universal experience, despite the fact that it feels very American to me because I live in America.